Hey, independent trailblazers and musical mavericks. This is Over Mustang coming at you from Origin, the epic center of independent artistry. Today we're diving into the world of unbridled creativity, where our guest isn't just here to talk shop, they're here to light a fire under your independent spirit. They're showcasing their own unique journey, shining a radiant spotlight on a collective of indie artists who are fearlessly carving their own path from the raw authenticity of acoustic ballads to the electrifying energy of underground beats. They're celebrating the tendency and innovation of independent artists who dares to dream big. So my fellow creators and champions of the unseen, get ready to be inspired, get ready to break molds, because today we're unleashing a wave of artistic freedom that bounds to redefine the industry. Let's dive in and make some magic happen. Go ahead.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. What's going on, y'all? My name is SznLuv. I'm an entertainer and entrepreneur born and raised in NYC. But I really see and perceive and know myself to be as a planetary cosmic being. Cosmic planetary being, I would say.
hmm
But, mm,
What else you got for us?
well, I guess I'd describe my essence to be the embodiment of clarity. SznLuv is me. I feel that is my soul. That's the name that is actually mine and not the one that was given to me.
No.
So, SznLuv being the embodiment of clarity, grace, love through all of our shifts and changes, and helping the community understand the magic and the alchemy within within ourselves, within the planet around us,
hmm
and how much abundance can come from getting in tune, getting in alignment with our body, our mind, and our soul, and curating synergy within our own being and seeing that be reflected outwardly into the world.
That's what's up. And how you even came up with your name? And it's pronounced Season Love, correct?
Yes, SznLuv, and it's perfectly imperfectly spelled.
How was
SznLuv.
that?
It was SznLuv, and it is warped in that way to be a an intentional misdirection. Same thing with my company name, Get Baked. It's to cause that initial jarring effect that if for, most individuals that don't read between the lines and, ask for deeper understandings and choose to be curious, they would just perceive it to be whatever surface level interpretation they can come up with presently.
hmm
But, I am everything. And I feel that initially for people to understand that they have to choose to perceive deeper. And I choose to be a direct embodiment of that. I'm exactly what you think, but completely not. Yes, I can do what we do, but it'll never be in the way that we have been programmed and have been accustomed to doing it. It'll always be completely different, completely transmuted, and completely me. So,
hmm
yeah.
And I'm curious, what's your, if you don't mind me asking, what's your cultural background?
My, what was the question?
What is your cultural background?
My cultural background. I was born and raised in NYC, Brooklyn, but I have a lot of Rastafarian roots, Jamaican roots on my mother's side, and I'm not too familiar with the masculine side and where that originates for my bloodline. But I know that as I ascend and as I unlock more of my DNA, more of that clarity will be available to me. So I'm
No.
looking forward to learning that about myself.
Okay. And you was telling us a little bit about said you have your own company as well.
Yes, I have a
You mind
few.
telling us a little bit more?
Absolutely. So I myself, as a creator being, I choose to cultivate different avenues for me to express myself, regardless of the medium that it is, wherever my being feels called to create in the realm, is where I, that's where I go. That's where I, or that's what I cultivate. And I basically created these different operational systems for me to literally do just that. So, firstly came me as a firstly came me as a editor, a cinematographer. I started my YouTube channel a few years back in 2017 and operated as a creator in that form, cultivating my brand as SznLuv. And then that grew into, me embodying just being like a filmmaker, understanding that world of directing, assistant directing, and also acting. Because, I did a lot of musical theater as a kid, and I was graced to not only be able to act in majority of the productions, but also assistant direct and be more on the stage design side as well. So I really got a beautiful dualistic sense of the
Mm,
kind of creator world in this sense of showcasing and performing and capturing, especially. So that grew into me creating, different films with certain individuals when I was in high school. And then, that eventually grows into Out of Pocket Pictures, my production company now, where we like to make ideas come true. We like to utilize our imagination and just create a lot of beautiful things. Over there in that avenue, I act as, the main producer, head of logistics, the operational manager, being able to cultivate fluid processes, and also our main editor. We chopping up a lot of our movies and whatnot, and just cultivating that post-production space for us, which is really, really, really amazing to see.
okay.
And then with Get Picked NYC, that really grew from another, instance to be that jarring factor. The logo is a pair of eyes because it's kind of like, just kind of looking back at you.
Mm,
And that's a way of, because I am a person, I really appreciate eye contact. I feel like eyes are the windows to the soul, and we can learn a lot about each other. We can connect to each other on deeper levels by having, truthful conversations. And I overstand with Get Picked NYC, I have been able to establish a beautiful sense of community surrounding, a various amount of things. First, it started with weed, catering a lot of events with infused cupcakes and establishing a different vibe, a more elevated vibe to the party scene. You know what I mean? Instead of, people trying to shove alcohol down your throat, it's like, beautiful goddesses with cupcakes, that make you
like,
feel amazing. You know what I mean?
mm,
And then that grew into a beautiful transmutation of honoring herbs in general, honoring Mother Divine and the natural resources that she provides to us, acknowledging it as the true medicine and the true tools to alchemy, you know?
mm,
And, present day, Get Big NYC, 4 years old. Now she is a creative community hub, a space for creators to get in tune with just that, get in tune with Mother Divine's frequency, excuse me, with Mother Divine's frequency, with the love frequency, you know, immerse themselves in individuals, in content that is source led, you know, and be able to purify their business and their creation process in that way as well, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we're trying to
Okay.
ascend the tribe for real, you know, we're trying to ascend together. So, yeah.
Okay. And just to recap, so this is different phases that you went through,
Yeah, the
or
different
are they
phases.
still active?
They're still active today, you know, they're
Okay.
things that we do currently on various amount of different scales. You know, I have my personal services on Get Baked LIC as a creative assistant, as a psychic medium, soul life coach, you know, allowing me to teach and offer the different skills that I've picked up as a creator along the years to my tribal members. So helping them organize their operations and assisting them in creating their content, being able to help them chop up their videos and actually embody their own frequency on, you know, bigger scales. You know what I mean? Because when we
Mm-hmm.
become a tribe, you know, when we choose to be a tribe, you know, the key of, you know, really alchemizing this space for us and making it as clear as day and as healthy and cohesive as possible is active communication. It is getting clear on our own beings and being able to understand what we offer to the communal space. And I'm just the embodiment that is here to help navigate through that, as is Get Big NYC. You know,
Okay. Congratulations on your achievements so far. Um,
gratitude.
if you don't mind me uh, asking, all this achievement, where's your, well, not to dive too personal into your intimate, but
What was the question?
how old are you?
How old am I? I'm 22.
Okay. So this was a lot of achievements, and a lot of skill sets that you acquired, in your span of 22 years, which is pretty impressive.
Ashe.
Um, and just to, make sure that I got it all. So you started off, um, with stage performance and acting,
Yes, I did.
and, uh, so we got stage performer, acting, music, music artist, film and editor, director,
Hmm.
and then, uh, community engagement, um, and what else I'm missing?
My soul life coaching, so creative assisting, being able to alchemize the communal space for our collaborations, for our creations, you know, helping us create together fluidly.
Hmm. That's what's up. That's pretty impressive in the span of 22 years. And how, like, what inspired you to go down this route?
I feel that I incarnated onto this planet for, you know, like my soul chose this vessel for the specific reason that they knew that I was capable. You know, they knew that with the guidance of, you know, my spirit team and the influences of this realm, nothing could diminish my willpower enough to stop
Hmm.
me from striving for a peaceful and cohesive way of existing. Because, you know, truth be told, especially when you've went through the ego depths and you choose in this form, you come around to that point where, you know, there's an aspect of us that truly feels helpless. You know, like this situation is helpless.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And being able to alchemize that time and time again, overstanding, understanding, and accepting my resilience. You know, the reason I like, you know, what motivates me is the fact that I got up every day. It's just like, okay, I'm breathing again. Well, shit, I guess I still got shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's still work to do. And then that's why, you know, my holistic journey has rounded up to where it has, because, you know, I'm in alignment with Mother Divine. The planet is purging right now.
Mm-hmm.
Whether people want to realize it or not, purging is occurring right now. We are in a whole entire different age. Illusions are being diminished, and anything artificial is literally falling before our eyes. And we need to be prepared
Mm-hmm.
for a new world rooted in authenticity and truth. And we need
Mm-hmm.
to be prepared to receive that truth. So,
I hear.
you know, I don't have to be in this realm. You know, there's other
Mm-hmm.
places to ascend to. I don't subscribe to death culture. However, there's already sectors of the realm and the planet that are of the frequency, that embody the frequency, that, you know, are being worked on. You know what I mean? There's things that are already happening that are ushering in, you know, this new dimension, this new planet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the individuals that are falling and choosing the detriment, you know, everything is a choice. And, you know, I'm inspired by that even. I'm inspired by, you know, all the aspects of ourselves, because I am everything.
Mm-hmm. And you was talking about a little bit about this entity. Was you talking about your ancestors?
Mm. I would
That
say, in what context? Entity.
when I was talking about, what inspired you, was you talking about your ancestors was like,
Hmm.
letting you know of your path that you should follow?
I would say that, I would say yes, because I am my ancestors. But I would also identify the source that is everything, you know, the source of creation. We are
Mm-hmm.
extensions of that, we are embodiments of that, and I choose to embody source. You know, I put my ego in the backseat, you know, my personality and the personality matrix that we come to know and cultivate so that we can be perceived by individuals is in direct alignment with the source that lies within me. So
No.
inherently, everything that I do, everything that I interact with, everything that I say, you know, is in alignment and is source ordained, because I choose to live a lifestyle of such.
Okay.
So,
And tell us a little bit more about this film production.
film stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, filmmaking is an amazing medium. And with Out of Pocket Pictures, we are a production house and a creative agency. So what we've done is cultivate a creative roster pipeline, basically, where we accept individuals of all skill levels. So when it comes to the film industry, if you are, you know, just starting out, you never touched a camera before, you've never been on a set before, you know, there's levels and tier statuses for any individual at any scale. And based on your tier statuses, we're able to offer different resources and outlets for them to exercise in the avenues that they say they want to exercise in. So, you know, a lot of people want to grow to be a director. You know, the terms that we speak in are like, I'm growing to be a, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Because the point of the pipeline is for individuals to have the chance to scale up to what the industry we've become accustomed to has, like, you know, made out of reach and out of touch for individuals. You know, what we're doing, it's not necessarily just a film company, it's more of a reiteration of full transmutation of the industry and the economic system that drives the industry. The way that we deal with our people, the way that we cater to the individuals who come to our roster is in a completely different, transmuted way, and most of all, a sustainable way. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So, yeah, I
Okay.
would say in the film industry, we're focused on having fun. for realsies though, not
No.
not attached to all of these artificial things that,
Mhm.
we've become conditioned to think that we need.
Okay. So, from my understanding, you build a community around the, I won't say entertainment, um, gathering, people like-minded to create something that's missing from the mainstream that
Mm-hmm.
can connect with people and add value to their life.
Mm-hmm. Ashe, and can collectively feed into the evolution of us and the planet, but real evolution, not evolution in the artificial sense where we're still making and pouring energy into things like artificial intelligence by focusing in on our magic and the power that already lies within us. We should be levitating this shit. But
Mm,
we're not focused to really hone in on ourselves and unlock the DNA that has been dormant from us, our
okay.
own shit, Like we need to colonize
Mm,
back our own land, our own bodies. You feel me? Our own minds. And that's what I'm focused on inspiring my community to embody. And I have
okay.
avenues and services and resources and shows to inspire just that.
Okay. And is any films out that we can tune into?
I just dropped the Magic short film recently.
No.
It's for one of my most recent singles named Magic, and you can find that on my YouTube channel, SznLuv.
And I think I saw a little bit of it. I saw some of your podcasts, which
Yes.
seeing that you have some experience with stage performance and
Yes.
acting and also film and editing. I
Yes.
was, amazed by the creativity and the visuals that you offer in your work.
Thank
And I was
you.
like, damn. I was like, damn, this person got to be signed or something. But, I actually, before I even continue on, I'm actually curious. Are you an independent artist?
Yes, I am an independent artist. I drop my own music. I, put the lyrics up. I schedule it. I make my own promo. I do that all. Um,
So,
me.
continue on what I was saying. I was like, God damn, this is full package right here. From the music to the conversation. I like the values, and so when it comes from
Gratitude.
my own personal experience, I do agree with you. Right now, where this world is heading to is the results of, you know, the leaders that, we let run with their corruption. I mean, this is where corruption, result lies. And we
Mm,
seen it in the young generation, and we seen it with the people, with the relationship, the values that they
mm,
hold. And when it comes to, I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess in the one of the points that you was making, investing in artificial intelligence,
mm,
uh, we have these companies, these mainstreams that invest in these, you know, the downfall of this. Like even when like telling people heads up, like, hey, we're going to replace you with AI, and
right.
the, let's say truck drivers, for example. You went to school, you got your license for this. This is a, government job. When you spent 18, 20, however amount of years just to hear that, like, hey, we're gonna replace you, and
Mm,
you gotta find out how to survive. Like, I think that's crazy.
beastie.
That we live in that type of world, and people just accept it. And my mission was to like, at least when it came to entertainment, my main issue came with like, mainstream like Hollywood and everything. I have a problem with like they don't showcase talent, and then they got the nerd, you know, to scream out like, "Hey, there's no talent out here, and this is why we got like, the artists that we got now." Um, they telling us that people don't want to hear these type of music, but when it comes to the underground, like people screaming like, "No, we do want to hear this," and it was like,
Right.
"Shut up."
Right.
um, so I think it's very important that we all have our own vision and mission to pursue and come together and add those qualities. So I like to hear that you're about tribe, you're about community, you're about
Yeah.
building and investing. I think that's very
Mm.
important. How the fuck, we're a country and we don't believe in investing in each other.
Seriously, seriously, like the hyper individual programming like runs so deep. I feel that in the communal space, like,
It's crazy
I
when you
love
really
that
think
you,
about it.
yeah, because we don't know how deep individuals' programmings run, right? Everybody's at so many
Mm-hmm.
different vast levels, and we're not conditioned to give ourselves grace, for where we're at on the ascension spectrum. We're not even, and this is not an affirmation, this is an observation, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, we're not conditioned to be as intentional to these cycles and where we're at on the ascension spectrum and, you know, what true evolution is. Because, like you said, we're warped to think that artificial intelligence, you know what I mean, and all these things is the new age. So, when they lose their job because, a machine is taking their shit, like they just lay down and die. Like, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And then even with that, the reason why there's so much like lack of self-worth there is because they're not conditioned to know that they have the power to cultivate their own currency, like literally with just their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Literally with
I
just
mean,
their mind. Not signing papers to be on
mm-hmm.
somebody else's job and pour into somebody else's dream. Like literally by like meditating and figuring out how they are self-sustainable within themselves. What do you offer to the community? What skills do you hold?
Mm-hmm.
And how willing are you to work on?
Uh, think you might cut up? No problem. What was that last part? Yeah, you back. I can hear
Um, okay. Um,
you. Uh,
where was I last?
uh,
That's
so,
okay. That's some real solar plexus shit. Right. Having the confidence, having the
mm-hmm.
confidence to work on ourselves in this way, to revolutionize and, really hone in on our own magic, do the shadow work, release the blockages, and no, sensitize ourselves again, because we've been really desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
We've been numbed, to a lot of things.
I agree. You know, even with when you was talking about like, people don't know that they can make their own currency. And when I think about it now, like that I was very inspired by merchants. Like, back in early times when like motherfuckers travel, experience the world, and then they just sell their stories. And I was like, damn, like you was really just able to like, just sell, your stories about experiencing life that, people, from other tribes, land, culture, or whatever, probably haven't experienced during that time. Like for people that live in terrain of like, nothing but snow. The fuck you mean? Uh,
Right.
uh, fuck you mean that you can, there's the land with, without this terrain of snow, or like, there's compared to like terrain of like heavy snow and everything, the one thing that lacks is smell.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that, normally live there, they usually don't get the chance to smell like a lot of scents. Um, compared to somebody that live in, mostly, grass, summertime, terrain. Um, just the difference, just to be able to tell their different worlds experience and everything. So I was really inspired by that times of like, merchants, just like,
Yeah.
just like you said, when we can create our own currency, I'm like, yo, we can, this world is wherever you can make
Yeah.
it. And the one thing that we have to acknowledge now, like we live in a world full of lies. So because of the brainwash and the corruption throughout each generation, when you really look at history, it's a domino effect, and we never really got a chance to recover or even work on it. So right now, when you was talk about we going through what was it? It wasn't an evolution that you said. Um,
Mm.
I forgot the exact word that you used, but it wasn't evolution, but he was like basically like, this is the calling or something.
Yeah.
Um, and right now, I think because of the history of like, repeat corruption and everything, like this is the breaking point. I don't think people got much of a soul left in them. Like, now, people going out of the way to have kids out of boredom. When it comes to relationship, like I even be asking the question, I'm like, yo, what is the roles and responsibilities of family?
Right. So true.
We're not even having that conversation. I just recently seen, 20v1 with kids. I'm like, yo, who parents allow this? So
Right.
it's like we live in a very corrupt world, and we're not really getting the option to see much else.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
So I think you brought up a couple good points, and I'm curious, when it comes to like, your tribe, how you go by, what's the steps into building a tribe?
Steps of building a tribe. I feel like step number one is to do your shadow work.
Okay.
Like every individual has to understand, get in tune with source, with the divine, with this planet. We are purging right now. We're purging all of the artificial beings, ways of thinking, ways like habits, traits, even like the concrete on the ground, like these artificial buildings, you know, like the world is being transmuted and purged of all the things that are not in alignment with her ebbs and her flows. And we have to
Mm-hmm.
understand that our bodies will always do the same exact thing as well, right? So taking back our
Mm-hmm.
bodies, understanding the distortions that these different industries cause, because they control the industry, so they control your life. You know what I mean? The food industry, what we
Mm-hmm.
consume, being intentional about what we consume. The media industry, music and film.
Down
These
to
are
your toilet
the.
paper.
One more time?
Oh, I was mentioning like down to your toilet paper. Like we even find out
Seriously,
they put chemicals.
seriously, down to the toilet paper, down to the toothpaste that we use. Like, literally, all of the pharmaceutical, we don't even want to get started on the pharmaceutical versus
Mm-hmm.
Mother Nature debate. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't been conditioned in this way to look inward and be able to even perceive our planet in its truest, rawest form.
Mm-hmm.
We would not know, a majority of us wouldn't know what to do if we were just literally on land in nature.
I agree.
You know what I
I
mean? And
agree.
that's not sad. We don't know how to navigate our own planet, and we fucking live here. We made some fake
Mm-hmm.
world on top of it to distort it.
Bringing up that we don't know how to navigate it, we recently just found out. Did you hear about it? Dark oxygen.
Wow, I didn't know.
So basically, they found out that under the dark sea level
Mm,
of the ocean. So
mm,
they recently found out that natural materials down in the deep level of the ocean, that light can't even travel to, because they scientists always believe that for life to exist, there has to be light.
mm,
Light is a big factor of creating like oxygen and etc. Come to find out, natural materials like such as like copper, metal, and everything, it can cause the natural occurrence down in the deep part of the level of the ocean, creating oxygen. So we're still finding out more about the planet, to this day. So, just to bring, more, just to back up at my 2 cents before
that's
you.
spectacular. That's
Mm-hmm.
spectacular. Like, wow. And we deserve that introspection. We deserve to explore in that form, in the, cohesive and, aligned ways. Not in the taking advantage and literally like, trigger warning, like raping our planet, taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage of our resources, and you see that being reflected outwardly, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? And we have to like choose to understand it on the broader scales about the energetic forces and these beings, because it's far,
Mm-hmm.
far, far surpassed from race. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's truly the energy that we're choosing to embody.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I agree.
mm-hmm,
And this go back to like, we're not connected at all. Like, and it come down to our leaders, well, so-called leaders. I
mm-hmm,
ain't pick. um, but when it comes down to our so-called leaders, the ones that you're supposed to be responsible of tackling these issues, it's not getting fixed. It's just getting worse at the moment. We see, corruption. Like now, corruption is so bad. Like they just acknowledge that shit right in front of our eyes. You know, like even with like the judge that's supposed to handle like sentence somebody
mm-hmm,
jail or not, we get to see them with their corruption. Like even with the Young Thug like case, the amount of corruption that we've seen with that case is just like wow. um, you know, and this going back to the statement that I was making earlier, the domino effect. We just keep adding on, issues, keep taking away. And when it comes down to like the residents that's going to be affected by it, like, cause like right now, like each generation, is raised to, perceive the world a certain way. So when it came down to the jobs with the truck drivers and everything, with the boomers age and everything, it was most likely raised to like, yo, put your passion, your dreams aside. Go to the workforce. Go serve in the army. This is how a woman should be. This is how a man should be and everything. And
right.
they have to kill themselves
Mm-hmm,
to become this person that to uphold their whoever was raising their guardians, their parents, point of view. And when
mm-hmm,
it came, you know, by next generation, we just add on those traumas. That's why, like, if you look back in history, the same issues, social issues that we had, it's the same thing that our grandparents dealt with. It's the same thing that our parents dealt with. We haven't learned our lesson. Um,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so bringing this back to your drop is really good to see that you're acknowledging these issues. You're able to you know to have a vision, not only a vision but a mission, putting together and building your own tribe and community. It seems like you have a perspective beyond yourself. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like you're bringing something to leave as like a legacy.
Yeah, a dent, quite literally,
Mm.
for sure. Unforgettable.
Shout out to you. And when it came down to your music, I listened to 17 your songs, but I'm curious, how many songs do you have out?
I don't even know, actually. I have a couple. I have an album out. I think that has about
Mm.
maybe
10.
8. I think 10. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 10 songs, maybe 11. No, it has 10. Then I have an EP that has 3 songs on it. And then I have a few singles, probably like 4 singles, maybe 5 singles now.
No.
And then I have some hidden stuff on SoundCloud from like an old version of myself that, like, I do not have, like, I literally do not have access to that account. And, I see that as etheric, it's just a timeless
Mm.
kind of EP, has 5 songs on it. And they're beautiful songs.
No.
So I'm grateful that the ethers can just like have that. And I don't have the choice to like take that down because it's like, hey, let them have it,
Mm.
you know?
So if you did have the choice to take it down, would you?
Nope, because,
No.
I'm directed not to, you know?
Okay.
My music is more of an etheric thing.
I think that makes you unique to have that. I came across a lot of artists that, well, being that new generation and new era when we have to have this perfect image. So to see you to have, you know, different phases of you, different time periods that we would most likely never get to experience again, I think that makes you pretty unique.
I say,
And it reminds us, how music should have been. Or creativity, I should say. Um, so we talk about a little bit of, actually, no, I don't think we got too much into your podcast.
all
Have we talked
right.
about
We didn't actually. The Money Healer monologues. Thank you so much for tapping in.
it? Mm.
The Money Healer monologues is definitely one of my avenues of expression. I wanted to cultivate a piece of content that I was just not seeing, and it was so heavy on my heart space at the time. I just felt the need to just like literally create something that is of this thing, just so that for my peace of mind, I know that it exists. And it's rooted in this revolutionary aspect that I embody very often, that is, dedicated to the evolution of us, of, our people, of individuals who choose to be receptive to growth, because there are individuals like me who are literally like, this is all I focus on. I don't have a job, I don't have, or whatever credentials people think or conditions to think that I should have to do what I do. I just do it. You know what I mean? And there's a beautiful intuitive aspect to the show because, as an Aryan, I'm an Aries, and then a Venusian being able to embody this beautiful Venus energy of realizing, encapsulating, and just, honoring this beauty, the essence of beauty and appreciation and compassion within that space. And I'm appreciative for individuals like myself that are attentive in this form, that are looking for the answers of like, yo, what can we actually do? You know what I mean? We said that we need to communize and like start congregating again and whatnot. Like, okay, I made a congregating space for us. Literally, I'm a master manifester, and that's what makes me a good operational manager as well, because, I know the exact pieces that are needed in order to actually start, cultivate, create the spark. You know what I mean? So creating that spark for myself has allowed me to express in this form that is holistically dedicated to the transmutations and the purification that is necessary on a communal sense. So different social structures, you know what I mean? Like money, it's literally called the money healing monologues, because this is one of so many concepts that drive us to choose in certain forms. You know what I mean? The way that money is perceived is what really causes a lot of, individuals to get possessed by these fallen angels, you know? They say it's the root of all evil and make it such a quote unquote scarce thing, because it drives lack mindsets. You know what I mean? It is a tool that is utilized to keep individuals small and complacent. So transmuting this is the roots, the currency, the way that we interact with each other, the way that we gain each other's resources, the way that we speak to each other, the entire economic system in general is the communal shadow work that we need to be doing. And the Money Healing Monologues is a space for us to speak about just that, literally. You know what I mean? And I open it up to the community. I've ruffled a lot of feathers with season 1. I can't even cap. To the point where I took probably almost a year off of the podcast for real, because it was gaining traction in a way, especially on TikTok, and just my way of being at that time, was gaining traction in a way that was like, a lot of hateful individuals were seeing me, and I wasn't, grounded enough, especially in a tribal sense. I didn't have individuals that could teach me about protecting myself etherically, or, other individuals that are actually assisting me in the, messages, and just, keeping myself in a holistic, balanced state to be, offering the community, these different controversial or perceivable controversial perspectives in that form. My willpower genuinely got shot because of like I'm talking like death threats in my messages. You know what I mean? And I stay in New York, and etherically, the reason why I haven't gotten as much traction as I could have is because of my environment. The goons and goblins really be out. And the individuals who we perceive as spiteful and, just residing in these lower densities, they're choosing in that form and again allowing these different fallen angels to possess them and continuing to feed into the phantom matrix, which is the matrix we're trying to detach from.
Mm-hmm.
And the money healing monologue is literally a pillar to differentiate ourselves from that, do the shadow work to release that as a
Mm-hmm.
community. So
I agree.
yeah.
And you got also a knowledge too. I end up realizing, because I'm 27 now,
Mm,
with my life, people want to destroy and sabotage things that they know that could work,
yeah,
and 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 at the end of the day, you gotta take your safety, your peace of mind first, all day.
yeah,
I agree with that. However, we cannot let um, them kill our messages because, like, in my eyes, they're considered puppets,
yeah, they are.
and puppets is no reason with them. Is no coexisting with them.
Mm,
'Cause they're the same one that would take out the hand that's feeding them without any like contract or agenda or anything. An actual generate hand that was like, hey, I can uplift you too. Maybe stab you right in the back. Um,
yeah,
so these type of people, like, in my honest opinion, continue building up your tribe and continue spreading your message. Because at the end of the day, we live in a hateful world. That's going to come. However, when you can build people that you can uh, have a community, because like we can't always watch your, as I'm talking about for yourself, you can't always watch your back, but having these people that you trust and everything with you to protect you,
yeah,
um, just keep doing your mission. This already show how powerful it is. Like, if you just spread knowledge and love and a different perspective on life, and this causing people to be aggressive and everything. One, to show how dire the world really is. Um, Two, to show how powerful you
oh shit,
are. So and it does make sense because I was actually looking at your content. I was like, damn, this is too well put together for, you know, not to be seeing a lot of engagement or views at the moment. And I'm not coming
right,
at you. I'm just saying, like, for
yeah,
entertainment wise, I find it entertaining enough. I'm like, I can see this easily be going around and people enjoy this family, especially if anybody care about, family or tribe or, building
mm,
connections or even getting to hear like you're pretty good at having a solo conversation. And that's something I don't think a lot of people give credit to.
yeah,
Uh,
it's true.
So I was and just hearing, the other factual about it. Like I didn't even know that, you got your own company. I didn't know that, you also produce your own movies, you're an editor as well. Just hearing these other, you know, uh, skill sets of yours. You're a full package. So I can't see like how, you're not getting the attention that you deserve. Hearing it now, I understand.
Mm,
Um, So I would say, especially before wherever this world turns to, World War III or whatever the fuck, take advantage with the internet. Like right now, we can connect with the world.
yeah,
Um, so keep spreading. If your message is not working here, then try out, broaden out your message.
I see.
Um, because I'm definitely rooting for you. You definitely got it, and especially some people within our culture might not consider us like kin, brothers and sisters right
Yeah,
now. But anybody that's willing to go against the system, you're a family of mine.
I see.
Um, so I'm definitely rooting for you to keep spreading your messages, and it's good to have different perspectives. I think we lost that.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real. I'm grateful to be able to even be allowed and feel another space that we can just speak freely. We can speak etherically. We can talk fluidly about energy and, really overstand, and I feel that you overstand, and I'm grateful that you have cultivated this space to be able to capture things like this. So, definitely anybody that's going against this shit and is, on the ascension path is absolutely, a friend of mine for sure. So I'm grateful for your essence and your existence, bro. Thank you for that.
I'm grateful for you too. like I said, this is very important when it comes to like creative art, especially for a lot of beautiful dark skinned women, black women, men, whatever, you know, um, from a woman perspective as well. I think this is really good to showcase because like when it comes to mainstream media, I wouldn't trust none of them, and to be inspirational speakers for my niece,
Right.
let alone if I would have a daughter or whatnot. But you, just hearing you passionate, talking about trials and everything, you got a lot of values. I'm like, I'd be fine with my kin, find inspiration in your content, you know,
Ashe, ashe,
uh,
ashe.
on other perspectives. I think that's something that's important too, as building a tribe is building connection with other people in different perspectives in life, especially like, for example, if I were to have a child, it could be anything. Like, if my child want to be an astronaut, I do not know shit about space. But I would like to have somebody in my community that I could trust and guide this child,
Yes.
to happen and, to have some experience or knowledge about that and, to teach them.
Yes.
So I think stuff like this is very encouraging. This is what we, inspire. Um, Also as well, just hearing the film side and everything, I actually have a collaboration with Jet Production and they make short action films.
Wow.
So, so if you are interested not only well, as an artist as well, collaboration with like using your music as soundtracks and even they are willing to help you create a music video as well. Uh, but also adding your other skill sets as a film director, stage performer. I'm pretty sure the collaboration can go broader than that. Um, so I can
Ashe.
connect you with Jet Production. Also,
Yeah.
take advantage of my platform. I promoted about 120 artists so far. So if you are looking to expand and look for like talent, we bring the underground to you.
That's dope. That is amazing. That's spectacular. Thank you for saying that. And I'm always down for a healthy energy exchange. So definitely, I'd love to know more information about that and continue just, building. I have a lot of building sessions with a lot of tribal members and just, continuing to develop and, just make clear exactly how collaboration and how we can coexist, and be cohesive. So I think that's really dope. Thank you for that. Yeah, for sure.
Mm, it's well deserved. You are really talented, and uh, are we about to hit the hour mark?
But
Will you have to go within an hour or?
I do actually. Oh wow, it's
Okay.
1:30. Wow, that's dope.
Mm,
But
all right.
yeah,
So I'm going to make this real quick. Listen to your music. One, two, three, four, five. 5 out of the 17 songs that I listened to really stand out to me. Magic, Now That You're Here, Ego Killer, Bad 444 You, and Energy. Uh, I really enjoyed those 5 songs, being a first time listener.
yeah.
Um, but please tell us a little bit more about you, Ken, with your music.
Well, whew, my music is an etheric thing. I grew up just being put in these instances to perform. Like, it was just my reality around me was just like, you stage, sing. Yes, absolutely. Just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I understand that, besides from everything else that I choose, singing, is all I truly ever needed to do. That meditation is beautiful and I love embodying it and then being able to get these different pockets of emotions from the ethers, right? Like these different pockets in time or just pockets of energy. I see songs as from the ethers through my experiences, through the emotions that my experiences like invoke out of me. Like, the writing process is very fluid because they're literally like downloads. You know what I mean? And I come from a very like artistic bloodline. You know what I mean? My mother herself was a producer, a music artist, and a ghostwriter. And I have a lot of like ancestry, spirit guides that are of the entertainment industry that understand, overstand creation energy, in the music and film industry in specific. So for the music industry, understanding like the routine and the operation of that, so understanding the cohesiveness of a song, what really makes a song hit, especially songwriting wise, but also like beat wise, structure wise, in terms of like either it's an EP, a tape, a whole entire album. You know what I mean? All of that is like etheric knowledge that was given to me at a very early age. And I was able to master these routines and continue because I'm used to like rehearsal. I'm used to having a script. So when I started performing my own music, it was like, okay, I gotta make a script for myself. Like, what the fuck am I gonna say?
Mm.
What am I gonna do?
So is it safe to say that you create a story with your
Yes,
music? Okay,
yes. And
I can see that.
my essence is that story. It is what my music embodies. There are different aspects of myself, my songs. Like magic is the aspect of myself that's truly an alchemist. And an alchemist that wants to help you. It's like, girl, you believe in magic or not? Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, whatever you want, you can literally have it. Like, I'm telling y'all that y'all can literally have it, bro. You know?
Mm. I agree. So, also to give you some updates. So with the recent changes of our podcast, we was able to not only get y'all interview, but share your music as well. But because of the changes of Spotify, we no longer able to, you know, do that anymore. Uh, so when you listen to the previous interviews, you will get a chance to listen to their music and they interview. However, going forward, that would not be an option. So they will only get the chance to listen to it.
But,
And quick question: would you like this to be a video uh for YouTube or just a Spotify exclusive?
oh, thank you for giving the option. I don't mind the visuals. I think the visuals are fine. Um, yeah, you can post it as a YouTube video as well because I am very active on my YouTube channel. And some visuals would be nice to help with the promotion.
Okay, nice. I'm also going to create you a promo using one of your music.
Yeah,
So I'll have that done soon.
great.
Um, as well, this will be a free trial for the first time to give everybody opportunity to share their story. But
Mm-hmm.
if you would like to come back, there will be a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do decide to come back, we would do a ranking out your catalog as a listener. So not only
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you to keep making music, but
Yeah,
I will also give you a platform where I can promote it,
yeah.
engage with it, and we can talk about it.
Oh, say
Yeah, that's
less.
what we do.
That sounds really,
Um,
really dope. But,
we got plans for the future, so it's definitely stay tuned. But before you go, you mind shouting out all your social platforms? Shout out anybody that you want to
yes.
put on, and then
Yeah.
drop a song out your catalog that you want the audience to know.
Bet. Okay. So I am SznLuv. You guys can find me on Instagram at _SznLuv. You can find me on TikTok at SznLuv. SznLuv. You can find me at YouTube at SznLuv. You can go on Google, type in SznLuv, and literally see every single one of my links from every like social media platform. Cause I pride myself on being visible on all angles.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever you can type in SznLuv, you can probably find me. I'd like to shout out Get Baked NYC, getbakednyc.org. You guys can find your divine resources, your cosmic services. We are here to help the tribe. We're here to bring you guys clarity. We're here to help the creator beings create in a holistic way. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely tap in with the tribe so we can see how we can build with each other. And yeah, shout out to anybody that chose to indulge in this content
Mm-hmm.
because your attention, your attentiveness, and your intent is truly what matters. And I'm grateful to be a light of inspiration to any receptive beings. So, yeah,
Much love.
thank you.
Much love. And shout out to you for giving us the chance and opportunity. I know there's a lot of scammers going on. So.
No,
So the
for
fact
real.
that you're still able to, give us an opportunity with that world.
Yeah.
But also drop a song that you want the audience to engage with.
I would love for you guys to engage in my new single that should be out. It will be out actually while, when this episode gets out. New single named Karma. It's a beautiful song, it's a beautiful message, and I think that, you know, everyone should listen to it. It's going to be
Mm.
beautiful. It is beautiful, and you deserve it. So, yeah.
All right, got it. I'm going to tune in. And to give you a heads up, the YouTube video will drop within 2 to 3 weeks. But when it comes to Spotify, I have you in a rotation of other artists.
Hmm.
So first come, first serve. So they're going to take about some time, like 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
I, I have a
Okay.
few artists,
That's
but
perfect. That's
okay.
perfect.
All right. It was great to have you on this podcast and look forward to, collaborating in the future.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here. And yep, I look forward to building with you as well. Peace out.
Have a blessed one.
You as well. Later.